I want to welcome you guys to another Inspiration in 30. My name is Gloria Ward, and I'm the founder of the I'm Loving Me Project. And we are here to inspire you to live your highest and truest self. And when I say this weekend was so impactful, it was amazing. We had an awesome time with Andrina. She came on and she just spoke to us and spoke life into us about how we can start setting boundaries and really living our life. If y'all missed it, hey, Khadija, if y'all missed it, y'all really missed something good because let me tell you, I took all these notes. I have my notes right here. I took all these notes and she gave us some homework on what to do. But what I enjoyed and what I liked was the fact that, it was somebody fresh who can, listen to some of the things that you have to say, some of the things that you are going through. And she just came in and she helped you work through it, and she give you some homework to do, and she allows you to take, to be as transparent as possible, and then take something and then give you something that you can take away that you can work on. So if you missed it, we'll be doing plenty of more. But yeah, it was a fantastic workshop. We had a great time. Thank you to everyone who came. I mean, we laughed, we talked, we did so much stuff. So thank you so much for everybody who came and supported. And the other thing that I wanted to say is that we're going to do one in October with our other coach, Ellie Curry, on confidence. So she's going to come. And basically, we're going to be doing them every month until the end of the year. And then we're going to come back with our full courses at the beginning of the year, which you guys see the website and everything. So it was amazing. We had a great time. Uh, you guys see that the the lady, the judge, she passed. So now everybody is trying to rally around Khadijah. Are you gonna have that on your show, Khadijah, today? Because I know you, Khadijah Sams. If you guys don't know her, she has her own um, political and also community podcast. Where if you ever want to get the latest on, news and politics and things that's going on, Khadijah Sam, she's here, and you saw her comment, and she has her podcast where you can go and get some real insights. And if need information, Khadijah, go ahead and post your podcast inside of the chat room so that people will know where to go. And so now everybody, they're trying to scramble to fill that seat. But I don't know, you guys. I just be saying that we want to make sure that we are doing what we supposed to do for ourselves and for our family. You know what I'm saying? Because the way 2020 has been revealing so much stuff, and the way it's been going, you you almost start to think that stuff was done on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really start to think stuff was done on purpose because it was just so much stuff at one time, right? All of the deaths, the coronavirus, the deaths of some prominent people. I mean, plane crashes, everything. You would think that the pale white horse from the Bible, right, is freaking walking the earth. You know what I'm saying? You would think the pale white horse is walking around. But guess what? With all of that that's going on, right? The one thing that we can control is ourselves. And the most important thing that we want to do is we don't want to get ourselves overwhelmed with everything that's going on, right? And we don't want to go ahead and digest all of this information where we start to feed into it and we don't know what we're doing with our lives, right? It is the look, we just started September. To me, it seems like yesterday. I don't know what it seems like to you, but it looks like we started September yesterday. We are now rolling into October. We really only got 2 months before this year ends. I'm telling y'all, we are not fully going to get out of this thing for the next 2 years, right? Because if you think about it, the coronavirus, we have no vaccine. They're trying to rush a vaccine to help us kind of sort of get back to normal. Who's going to go ahead and take that shit? A vaccine usually take a couple of years after it's tested, but you're trying to rush a vaccine so that you could go ahead and start injecting people so you could get life back to normal. And then what they telling you is that you have to get 2 shots throughout the year. First you get one and then you get another. Excuse me. First you get one and then you get another shot, right? Now they pumping the flu shot in you, where if you in healthcare like I am, it's mandatory. What's this in my head? It's mandatory that you get it, right? And for other things, you have all of these things that's happening where they trying to inject you and pump you and make sure that you're safe. And things can get overwhelming because not only that, you got immunizations for the kids. You got to get them flu shots. They trying to get you a corona vaccine. They trying to get you out there to vote. They trying to make sure that your kids are learning good from home. You got to make sure that you got the right technology for them. You got to make sure that you still taking care of your household and you still got a job working from home. You still got to make sure you got all these different things going on, right? How do you cope? How do you stay sane, right? Hi, Dr. Laura, right? How do you cope and how do you stay sane with all of that going on? And remember, that's just stuff going on the outside, the stuff that the world is telling you that you should be doing, that you got to write on your long list of things that are also happening in your household, right? That you need to go ahead and take care of. So, how do you deal with it all? How do you manage it all? How do you make sure that your kids are getting the best education at this particular point in time where they're having no social interaction? They just sitting at a computer with some headphones on a couple of hours a day, looking like they learning, right? We have to be able to step up more as parents and as individuals. We have to be able to know how to cut things off. We have to be able to know how to prioritize things in our life. And yes, when it is hot, like right now, where things are like going from one to the other, you have to be able to figure out how you're going to prioritize and get the things done that you know you need to get done, because the overwhelm is going to stress you out and you're not going to get anything done. Okay? The most important thing I'm worried about is you guys who got kids and grandkids whose children is learning from home and everything. The only reason why that really bothers me is because, like I said, that social interaction, right? Because you your kids are already sitting there being forced to learn on a computer where they rather be doing something else, right? And then when it's lunchtime or interaction time, they don't want to go back. Look how we are when we are on a Zoom, right? Look how we are when we try to sit through a presentation and everything. We are good the first 30 minutes, right? When that joint start getting into an hour, and please forget it. If you go into an hour and a half, your chair starts turning, right? Your chair starts turning. You don't know what half of the people done said. You sit up there and you got your phone down here, right? You have your phone down here, and the only thing you're doing is shaking your head, but your eyes are down. All kind of stuff be happening. So imagine what your kids are going through, right? So I'm like, we got to be able to start to manage ourselves and really put up those boundaries on what we are going to uh, take in and what we are going to let go. Okay, because as the year goes on, it is not going to ease up. Like I said, once Halloween is over, we running into what? Holiday time, right? How much are you going to stress yourself out about that? Where the kids want something, Amazon is backed up, you people stealing the gifts at the door, you got all this stuff going on. You have the people who are sitting out there saying that they delivering the gifts is getting cold, you scared of COVID, all this stuff, right? Mental breaks is going to be vital. It's vital already, but mental breaks, right, is vital right now, because it's going to be so many things. They starting up already that's coming at you from the outside that will get to you. Okay, from that loneliness, when it's time for Thanksgiving and time for Christmas, and you recognize that you don't have that much family where you live, and you recognize that you don't have that much money to give gifts, and you recognize that you don't have the same relationship you had last year, so now you sitting here trying to figure out what you're going to do, it's going to creep up on you, right? It's going to creep up on you, where you have to figure out what your next move is going to be for your job, right? How are you going to manage it? How are you going to work for 2021? Let me tell you this too, and I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you, right? And Khadijah, I saw your comment, and I want you to let me know what's going on with you. Okay? I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. If you have children, and I want you to hear me, or if you have grandchildren, I am begging you and I am asking you, please make sure, especially if they're in high school or they are about to graduate college, please make sure that you try to encourage them to pick up a certification program or something that is specialized in whatever it is that they were supposed to learn in high school or college. Let me tell you why. Ladies, the the degrees, since everything is online and everything, even back then, if you said that you went to an online school, people look iffy, right? At your resume. If you say you graduated and it is during the COVID season in high school or college, remember, a company is revitalizing themselves as well, right? They're only looking for the best because they're in the hole too. They're trying to recover. It's not going to be easy to go ahead and take a chance on a graduate, only because they can go ahead and learn the skills and they don't cost that much money, right? Companies right now want to be able to invest in the best so that they can come back and get their revenues back up where it used to be, right? So, because of that, they want someone who could come in and work. Certifications, hear me now, certifications are bigger than degrees because you have to have hands on experience in order to get it. Do you hear me? I'm telling you this now. I'm telling you because it is going to become vital. Listen to what you are hearing on your radio stations, as Google has a certification for you to become a computer tech, as HP is coming up with something so that you could get certified, because that's where we're going, because the level of education is slumping where the kids are not learning anything. So we're going back in the day. You remember back in the day where your grandma and your mom, they really didn't graduate high school or anything like that, but they went and they did some certification classes and courses, and then they were able to go ahead and get that city job, and they were able to sit there and really make good money and live middle class, right? That's where we're going, right? That's where we're going. And it's going to start to, and employers are going to start to evaluate what they have. I'm telling you, because it is being stated already that the kids are not learning anything, because you have this battle. Some got internet, some don't. Some go back to regular classes where the information is not as accurate. The level of education is not the same, and in the African American community, it's already a disparity, right? So you say to yourself, well, let me go ahead and see if I could get my kid a tutor or my grandchild a tutor or something like that so that they can be ahead. That is good, but make sure that you start to get them to specialize in something. These certification programs that you see in these certification classes, they are going to be worth the investment. I promise you. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to say. You as a parent, as a grandmother, as a working woman who is out there, the overwhelm is really going to take over because there's a lot of decisions. Hey Candace, hey Rose. There's a lot of decisions that you're going to have to make very quickly, right? Don't go and let this overwhelm take you where now you all stressed out and you don't know if you coming or going. You don't know how you're going to handle your day, because when you do that, you can't think. You can't make good choices. You can't make good judgments, right? And it starts to weigh on your body, and it starts to make you feel a certain way. It starts to give you that high blood pressure. It starts to give you that diabetes, right? So it is going to be a lot of things coming at you and a lot of big decisions that you're going to have to make for yourself and for your kids. One of the things that I like to do, you guys know, I like to write all my stuff down and I like to journal. I like to go ahead and say, hey, this is my reality. This is where I am. And this is where I'm trying to go. And these are my constraints to getting there. Right? These are the things that I would have to do in order to make this happen, and projecting how long it will take me to get there. Okay? You let all that shit come at you, you're going to burn out. You are going to burn out. And you are going to be upset. You're going to be cranky, and nobody's going to want to be around you because they're not going to know those inner struggles you have. You get it? The world has changed so much, ladies. The world has changed so much where right now, hey, Kim, if we don't prioritize, we're going to be left behind. And that's just the truth. That stimulus, unemployment thing, everybody waiting on, and the election to see who's going to be the new president because you think that you're going to overcome if you vote for this person or that person. All that shit is just noise. Something you need to pay attention to, but it's noise. Okay? What's important to you right now is how am I going to get me together? Right? How am I going to reduce the things that's going on within myself? How am I going to make this happen for me and my kids in my household or my grandkids or whoever it is that is in your care at this point? How am I going to get up and I'm going to take care of me so I can go deal with that bullshit that's out there? That's the biggest thing, because out there is not going to change. But the way you respond to out there is the most important thing, right? What we know is people going to be people. What we know is that there's a lot of things that are out of our control, but we can control us, and we can control how we respond to things, right? Don't let the world suck you up where you forget who you are, because it will, because it doesn't care, right? It doesn't care. So you have to be able to do your work. You have to know and be self-aware when you know you're going over your limit. And one of the things that we talked about yesterday that was so important, you got to know when to stop people pleasing, right? We talked about that so much yesterday. You got to know when to stop people pleasing and form those boundaries and say no. Remember, no is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain anything. Your no is your no, and then that's it, right? Because if you're going to be the best for everyone else, you have to be able to take care of yourself, right? We talk about that all the time. But the minute you start to push everything out there and you let the world come in and dictate how you're going to be and how you're going to respond, you losing the game. You losing the game, right? So one of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure, what's that thing in the Bible, y'all? You want to make sure you put that whole armor on before you leave the house, right? That's the point of that. The whole armor story, whoever said that in the Bible, is true. You put the whole armor on because your armor is your belief, your faith, and your power that you have within yourself, right? That's your armor. So that when you walk out, you already know. I believe, I don't know where that in the Bible that is. I know I don't know the Bible like that, but I can assume that if they said armor, they knew that every day that you go out, it's going to be a battle, right? Every day that you go out, you're going to have to experience something. Excuse me, right? So when you put that armor on, make sure you don't have no cracks in it, right? Make sure there's no cracks in your armor, because it makes it easy for someone to get in and pierce your flesh. It makes it easy for someone to come in and start to control that personal space that you have, right? Make sure you taking care of you. Make sure you do your work for yourself. This right here takes up, you go through so many emotions a day, right? Sometimes you don't know what the hell you're thinking and where you going. And trying to battle, hey Bree, trying to battle all those things that unexpectedly come up, that you just be like, oh shit, another thing, right? You got to know how to handle those things. You have to be able to think clearly. You have to understand how to make good choices. You can't do that if you're overwhelmed. You can't do that if you're allowing everything to come at you. You can't do that if you're listening to all that negativity. And you definitely can't do it if it's right there in your household and you participate, right? Who knows what 2021 is going to bring? Nobody but you, right? Who knows what the world is going to be? That's for the world. But you know what you want to do and where you're going. But what you want to realize and what you want to plan for is the constraints. The world has given you some constraints as to what it is, as to how you take action on what it is that you want to do. Does that make sense? Because if you are trying to put yourself in a good position where you get a raise, you start your business, you do all these wonderful things, right? Well, the world gave you some constraints because there are rules on the outside as of right now as to how you go ahead and implement that. But that's okay. That's something that you can plan for and strategize and make sure you and your family is good. But when you don't, the world will throw everything at you. Every dagger, every sword, every knife, everything. Because it doesn't care. It wants what it wants. And if you're not doing your due diligence, then you're just going to get sucked right in. So you say, Gloria, well, what the hell do I do? When you get up in the morning, you take your peace time, you sit there, you write in your journal, or you write down your goals, whatever it is that you want to do for you and your family, and you stick to it. You put that whole armor on. You feed your mind every day. You got to, y'all. You have to. I can't even stress that enough. You have to feed your mind because most of the world is not. You get it? Most of the world is walking around so unconscious. Whatever the world throws at them, that's how they react. But it is the amazing woman who knows how to control her emotions that always win because she is self-aware enough to look at her situation and decide if she's going to take that on or not, where everyone else is just running into the fire. You get it? You do your mind work, you do your affirmations, you get yourself together so that when you do go out, you already know what's coming at the job, right? You already know what's coming. You already know what you got to do that day. You already know what you got to do for your kids. You already got a battle out there. Once you go through that battle and you come home and you take that armor off and you lay down your swords and all that stuff or whatever, now it's time for you to be you again, right? To build yourself back up within an hour or two, because now you got to be the best for what's inside of your household, right? Now you got to be the best for yourself if you live by yourself, right? Let me see. The phrase armor of God was derived from Ephesians. Okay, put the whole armor of God, may he be able to stand. Look at that. Yeah, you see that, Kim? That's exactly what it is. The only thing I knew was armor of God. That's it. But that makes sense. Put the whole armor of God that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. To me, the devil is the world on the outside, right? Makes sense to me. If we going out every day unequipped, without our armor on, then the world will kill us every day. Slowly. Wouldn't you agree? Slowly. If we got cracks in our armor, if we putting our armor on and we got cracks in our armor, and we come back a little bit beat up, that's okay. Because you know what? We know what to do next time so it doesn't happen again. We go back and we come up with a different strategy so that we can win this time, right? I'm praying for our generation. I'm praying for our kids, the kids that are coming out of college, the kids that are coming out of high school, the younger kids that are going through all of this right now because their life has changed so much. It is up to us, women, because we are the church. We are the one that changed nations and communities to show our kids what a balanced life is, right? But we can't show that if we don't have one and we don't know how to implement that for them. We have to be the example now, right? It can't be the teachers, it can't be the tutors. It has to be us. The rituals that we do is what they're watching. So when you are feeding your mind, before you get out there and go to work, or if you're working from home, before you get on your first Zoom call or answer that first email, take your kid with you and say, honey, you know what? We're going to do this devotion and we're going to say these affirmations before you go to school and before I actually get on this computer to go to work. You ready to do that? Let me tell you what we're doing. We feed in our mind because I know you probably get anxious and tired and all that stuff on the call. But let me tell you something. I need you to learn this thing because once you learn this, you get to go to another grade. You get to learn more stuff. And mommy will be so proud of you, or auntie or grandma or whatever, right? But we're going to do this. And I'm right here with you, right? And we're going to do this homework and we're going to make it happen. We got to be able to be in a position where we are not overwhelmed because we push that on our kids and everything. And even if you think you're not pushing it on them, they're watching you. They're watching you. And if your kids are grown out the house and they got their own family and they doing their own thing, they already doing what you already taught them, right? They already doing that. And if it's working out for them, give them a high five. If it's not, go ahead and tap on them and tell them to slow down. And you slow down. The world slowed down on purpose so that you could go ahead and get yourself together. But as the outside world is trying to push, and with all this resistance to make things happen, to push through, what we're seeing is that it ain't working. It's getting worse. And now that it's getting cold, you have to really be careful, right? So before you go to work, because I know it's 8:10 and I got to go to work, put that armor on. Talk to yourself. Get yourself prepared for whatever it is that you're trying to do. Prepare for 2021. Let me tell you, we're going to embark on something where I'm grabbing those who are ready to go. If you want to start your business, and you know, my team has been telling me this all the time, like, Gloria, you really need to share your gifts. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to put it out there, right? But if you're really ready to start your business and you're really ready to get yourself in a position where you are doing what you really love, I am going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm not going to tell you. I told some people last year, but I'm actually show you. All right? I'm actually show you because I'm a person that had to reinvent themselves plenty of times to get back to this point, right? But I know it and it works. If you are a career person, we are working with a company now, right? To offer some certifications for you ladies because I just think it's so important. I don't care if you get a Microsoft Excel certification, you get a Microsoft Office certification, you get a QuickBooks certification, you get all these things that you need for a job. There's nobody when you take the exam at the job when you are applying and you want more money, you will whip through that thing like nothing versus a person who say they know it because they learned it in college, who read a book and got a whole bunch of theory. No, theory is not going to work anymore. And if you do come off of theory, right, you're not going to be paid that much because you don't know anything. You need hands-on experience. But if you have that hands-on experience and you come in with something, then we are in an advantage where I can't just pay you anything. I have to pay you what you're worth, right? So we're going to do our part and we're going to I'm looking hard right now and we're going to offer, some popular certifications, how to read, a balance sheets and, light accounting, things like that, because those are the jobs, right? That's going to be vital in 2021. And I cannot let y'all be just out there trying to figure that out on your own. We'll offer it, you'll be fully certified, and you can go get the money you want. If that's not the route and you want to start a business, we'll offer it, and that's the route you go. And then you can do whatever it is that you want. Okay? So prioritize today. Slow down. Think about what it is that you want to do. Don't get so overwhelmed with things. Choose you first today. That's the bottom line. Instead of being overwhelmed, choose you first. And I promise you, you'll have a wonderful day. Okay? All right, I got to get out of here. I'm going to choose me and finish my tea. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my day started. So